Okay, given triangles as shown in the plane, A at -3, 6, B at 1, 6, C at 1, -1, and D at -4, 4, E at 0, -4, F at 0, -11. Prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Again, they have it drawn. So read the following proof for this problem and carefully and then follow the instructions. Use the blank to find the lengths of segment AB and segment BC as well as segment DE and segment EF. Both segment AB and segment DE have lengths of blank, while segment BC and segment EF have lengths of blank. So we're finding lengths. First blank is going to be distance formula. We're using the distance formula to find the lengths. First, I would say, okay, A, B, and DE. Well, A, B, and DE are both horizontal lines. That means I can count this. So AB is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 lengths long. DE is also 1, 2, 3, 4. So blank 2 is 4. Blank 3, BC and EF. Well, BC is vertical and EF is vertical as well. So we can just count those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And EF is also 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So blank 3 is 7. And now this is why I would have this one up. So use the lengths found in step 1 to show blank and blank by using the transitive property of equality and the definition of blank. So we would be showing that so transitive property of equality means that we have this linking. So AB is equal to 4 and DE, segment DE is equal to 4. So the transitive property would say that since they're both equal to 4, I could just say that AB is equal to the length of DE. That's to show in the definition of blank. So blank 4 and 5, we are to show, let's see what our options, congruent, side, 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 definition of distance, congruence, 8, 7, okay, so blank 4, use the lengths found in step 1 to show congruence. Since we're using congruence and I can't type that out in my math, I'm looking for like AB is congruent to segment DE. And also, since we proved that BC is equal to 7 and EF is also equal to 7. The transitive property means that since they're both equal to 7, I could just write BC is equal to the distance of EF. Therefore, their segments would be congruent. So for blank 4 and 5, we're looking for segment AB is congruent to segment DE, and segment BC is congruent to segment EF. By using the transitive property and the definition of, well, we use the definition of congruence because since they have the same side lengths, they are congruent in size and shape. So now blank 7, I'm looking at this. Use the fact that segment DE and segment EF are on horizontal and vertical lines to show they're perpendicular and form a right angle at angle E. Do the same for segment AB and segment BC and angle AB. Then, because all right angles are blank by the right angle theorem, state that angle E is blank to angle B. So, if you don't know what the right angle theorem is and you don't have the key terms pulled up, which it doesn't have, I would just Google it. So I would Google right angle theorem, and it says Well, it's pulling up. So here's a list of all of the postulates and theorems. So this would be a good review. It says any two right angles are congruent. So you could print this out. I will put a link in it in our course so that you could have a list of all of the theorems and identify which lessons I guess they're coming up in or have learned. So because all right angles are congruent by the right angle theorem, so blank 7 would be congruent. Blank 8 states that angle E, blank 8, is congruent to angle B. So since they're both right angles, we're going to be looking for the math symbol of congruence, which is that equal sign with a squiggle over it. So now show that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF using the blank. So what did we prove, or what did we use to prove? Again, if you go back through that, they're saying segment AB to segment is congruent to segment DE since they have the same length. There's a side. Then they were also saying that segment BC is the same length as segment EF, so we have corresponding sides, two sides. Then they also said that we have 90 degrees in both triangles. So they're using a corresponding side, corresponding angle, which is the 90 degree that I'm marking, and a corresponding side. So they are using side, angle, side, because we have corresponding side, we have the corresponding angle, and we have the corresponding side. So they're using side, angle, side. Congruence. And that's how I would go through this problem.